Hey folks, it's Kerry here with a Shop Minute, and I might break it down to a few different videos. But I recently had a to-be owner purchase a instrument from the website. It had been one that I had built for the recent festival in Milwaukee, and this owner wanted the instrument to be restrung left-handed. He's a left-handed player, and when I build the pre-configured instruments, I build them all right-handed because the vast majority of players are righty. So I wanted to step through with you some of the things that need to be done. There's two main operations, I think, if I break it down to two anyway. One is restringing with the strings swapped the other way. This is the instrument. I've taken the original strings off, but it would normally be G here at the number 4 string, C, E, A is the standard tuning. For a lefty, who plays this way, the G has to be up here where the A used to be, and G, C, E, A. So they get swapped around. That's simple enough. However, the nut was originally filed and cut based on the right-handed player, with each of the nut slots being slightly different. So I have to cut a whole new nut for that because the strings are different gauges, and we need to make sure the action is appropriate, that the strings sit in each of the nut slots appropriately. So I'll cut a brand new nut. So I think of that as one of the two main operations, is restringing with the new nut being cut and filed. The other, though, is the player dots. For the standard instrument, the player dots are on this side, so the righty player can see the dots as they play. A lefty is going to have a hard time seeing those dots. So I need to add new player dots on the left side, and that's what I'm going to go through right now. First off, I need to figure out how to secure my workpiece, being the instrument, while I do that operation. And so, if you recall, if you've seen the Birth of a Mighty Moe series, you watched Ben Bonham put player dots into the fretboard, originally done on a fretboard that was not attached, like this fretboard. Simple enough. He had this great little jig, this template that he put the fretboard on. You could secure it here. He had lines to tell him exactly where to go, and he moved up and down the drill press to put the dots in the appropriate place. The completed instrument's not going to fit there. So what I'm going to use is a caul that I use to actually glue the fretboard to the body, along with one of the clamps that are used. And I'm going to put those into the vise so that I can secure it, because I don't want to be cutting or doing any major operation without the workpiece being absolutely secure. So I will take this little piece off here, which is radiused to fit on the fretboard of our instruments. And it comes right off the clamp easy enough. This caul, which has slots in it that fit exactly on our tenor, which this one happens to be. I have 4 different ones of these based on the size of the fretboard. This is the tenor. So it's going to go there. This guy's going to go on this side. And I can clamp it and secure it into the vise. And that way I can do that without risking damage to the instrument itself. So I'll get this in nice and secure. And there you go, that's not going to move. Now, next, I need to find the appropriate spot to drill my side dot holes. I've pre-measured and marked with a pencil the middle of the binding along the fretboard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and I am going to make a little starter dot in each of the spots. That's handy because as you start to drill, the bit is going to want to move with the grain, and it could move just a little bit. I want to try to get it started exactly in the right spot. So starting with a little dot, you can use this little instrument. One of these guys works just as well. It gets the bit started just where you want it to go. So I pre-marked this with a pencil, as I mentioned, so I know exactly where 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, and 15 are. And we'll go in right at each of the spots I want go in. There's 7. 10, really close to my clamp there, but it's got space, so I can do right in, center just right. 2 at 12. And 15, which is right at the body, so that's a tricky one. Just be extra careful when you drill. Got my drill with the appropriate size bit in it, and I'm just right on the dot. I only need a tiny little bit to go in. Just enough dot to show through and to stay in place. Two at 12, and one last at 15. It's right here at the edge of the body. I'm going to get that one a little bit deeper. There we go. Holes are in place. Next up is getting the dots in and filed, sanded down, flush with the binding. Thank you.